friends, how's it going? My name is Joy and this is INXJOY. And today's book a card, we have the question, what is ending? So with all the astrological events going on, I thought this would be a great question. With the full moon in Scorpio just passing us, I thought this would be a resonant time for people going through significant changes or endings or new beginnings, because cycles always continue. All right, so we have 3 piles for you today. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. You can pause here to meditate on your pile, but if you already know which pile you want to choose, timestamps are listed down below as per usual. And I will see you there. Hi pile 1, if you've chosen these cards and this is your reading. So we're asking the question of what is ending, and our first cards will just give us a little energy check-in and see what is currently ended. So let's get started. You have the cards expansion as well as impartiality. So currently, what is ending for you? It feels like the need to people please. That's how it feels quite a lot. It feels like you are now ending this time where you have to carry others' responsibilities, and it feels like you are not responsible for other people's feelings. So it feels like this is a very pivotal moment for you. It feels like your voice is expanding. It feels like you no longer take other people's projections onto you. And it feels quite like a time of nurturing your needs, your inner child, yourself. And it kind of feels like you're wearing this gown of protection, of connection to your own spiritual self, your own spiritual practices. So that might look like you're meditating more, you're doing more yoga, you're taking more walks. It could look like something you're reading on in depth, more on interest that really invest you to discover more about yourself. It feels like you are just gaining this knowledge so that you can have a space of connection to your purpose, to who you are, to why you're here. Because I'm drawn to a lot of this purple. As you can see in both these cards, there are 2 purplish aspects about these women that draw you in. And this woman has this like veil of protection basically around her and this impartiality. And it feels like that's what you have right now. So even though you're letting go of this people pleasing, you do have this sense of protection. You still have this sense of being able to be diplomatic, to get along with others, while still maintaining your own footing, your own opinion, your own way of doing things. It feels like I'm hearing the words whatever floats your boat. So it feels like you're letting go of that kind of mentality. It's not like it's full on. It's more of as in you're letting people do what they need to do without taking their own emotions, their own projections onto you. It feels like you're just saying whatever to people that disagree with you, that people that are a little bit more unkind. That's how it feels. It feels like you have this wisdom about you where you let go of a lot of how people perceive you, and you're really coming into your own. So let's get some more cards to understand and further develop what's ending in your life right now. So what's ending for my pile ones? What's ending for my pile ones? Thank you. Instinct. Yeah, it feels like you're becoming a lot more intuitive. You have faith as well as workaholic and acceptance. So for you, my dear pile ones, it feels like, oh look, it's the same guy. So there might be a male figure in your lineage, or you might have a male deity, you might have a male angel that right now is really looking over you and really giving you more kind of like an emperor energy, kind of like a more disciplined, a more protected, a more stable sense of self. That's how it really feels. It feels like with this acceptance card as well, it feels like there's your higher self looking over your shoulder at every move you make, and you're moving into this time where you're able to choose a path of intuition more. Yeah, if you ever heard the meme or the saying, there are two wolves inside of me, it feels like you're able to hone in on what the multifaceted aspects of you are, and you're able to accept that parts that sometimes are a little bit more paradoxical, are a little bit more disagreeable within the self. It feels like you're giving yourself this space to really be who you are and accept all the different aspects of you that might not make all this much sense, but you're giving yourself this time to realize why it doesn't make sense and what kind of energies you've been taking on and what kind of experiences you've had in the past that made it so that you think in these different ways. It feels like you're really emotionally developing yourself in a way where it's very grounded still. You're doing very practical steps in regards to being able to connect to yourself. There's a lot of purple imagery around these cards, and it feels like you are working quite a lot towards being able to meet all the aspects of yourself and become friends with yourself. It feels like you're really honing in your own energy, as well as the energy of any of your higher selves, your deities, your loved ones, the records keepers, and the divine source. It feels like you're also connected to your soul, and you're really, again, working really hard to be able to connect the dots, paint a picture of what you want to have your life become. You're really diving deep into the emotional triggers that you've had in the past, and you're rewriting it so that when they come up again, you have a different kind of approach to how you face it. For example, you might be someone who is a people pleaser. So in the moment, you might allow people to do things that persuade you otherwise. I'll give myself as an example. I hope this resonates. It's a very small thing, but it as a recovering people pleaser myself, which is again on the narcissism spectrum of needing external validation, I went to IKEA the other day with my partner, and as we were leaving, I was really full from the food, but I still wanted ice cream. So I was trying to choose between the small kid cone and then the larger like cone. And my partner pressured me into getting the larger cone. And it didn't really sit right with me. Like, I was doing it because I felt the need to please my partner in that way. And because he's in charge of a lot of finances, I felt like I had a lack of power in the say in which I get to operate in and the decisions I get to make sometimes. So other than being really mad about it and exploding at him and causing this fight that would have happened that I probably would have done in the past, I took a couple of days to think about it and think about why I let it happen and think about what made me let go of myself in order for me to just accept someone else's projection onto me or their decisions for me. And it was a lot of me having to deal with my self-worth, of being able to understand how financial aspects plays a toll in that, and how it wasn't a malicious thing that my partner was trying to enforce on me or control about me. It was just something that he was trying to do in order to make me feel like I have options and that I don't always have to choose the smaller option. And so after a couple days, it wasn't sitting right with me. So I asked him if we could talk about it. And I mentioned to him what I was feeling and what I needed from that. And how it made me feel a bit lesser, it made me feel a bit controlled, it made me feel not myself. And what I needed in the future from him was the ability to have time to make decisions and to be able to decide for myself what I wanted. And so, other than causing this huge fight or this huge commotion about it, we calmly sat down and we discussed it. And he was very receptive to it. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know this made you feel like this. I really didn't want to make you feel in control. I mean, out of control. I didn't want to put my own control onto you. Next time, I will respect your decision and respect your time and have you be able to choose on your own." So all of this to say is that he might be going through something probably not as small, but probably along the same resonance of, oh, you're changing the ways in which you approach how you handle things. No matter how big, how small the experience is for you, it feels like you have this newfound knowledge of being able to emotionally regulate and emotionally manage why you've made decisions and the behaviors of your actions. And so it's very much a time of ending that reactionary element of you. It's very much one where you are letting go of a lot of people pleasing tendencies, but if they come up, it's not like you drag on yourself. You're very open, you're very accepting of yourself, and you ask yourself why these things happen. It feels like there's an emotional maturity about you. There's emotional connection to your heart space and this veil of protection where you feel like you have enough room that you can actually just think about it and analyze it and feel it out and then kind of interpret it in a way where it makes sense for you. Okay. We're gonna get a couple more cards to cement the endings and what is ending in your life. So what's ending in my pile one's life? And while I'm shuffling, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to just hang out with me and get to know yourself better. I love reading cards, so being able to do this for you is very special, and yeah, just want to say thank you for being here. Okay, Ace of Swords. So what's ending for my pile ones? You have Death in reverse. You have the Two of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, okay. So it feels like you have a really good head on your shoulders right now. Again, it's this emotional management that's not just emotional management on one spectrum, but one where you get to analyze it and you get to kind of move forward into the future of it. It feels like you are taking things a bit slower. With the Death card in reverse, it feels like when transitionary aspects of your life happen, you are able to really slow down in regards to being able to process why that thing happened and how you can move forward, especially in a way where it's a new communicative aspect, as well as a new emotional intelligence that's really coming out, where again you're making, this is just a reiteration of what I was saying. It just feels like you're really, this just feels like a confirmation of you're doing great, sweetie, and you're taking the steps to emotionally regulate, and you're taking this newfound knowledge of yourself and this new love for yourself to be able to extend that into the relationships that you have. You're no longer, you're breaking past behaviors. You're breaking reactionary behaviors that you once had. And now you're at a time where you are looking at these emotional reactions in a new way, in a way where you can really feel what you need to feel, communicate what you need to feel, and then ask for what you need from either yourself or the other people involved in the situation. And that is huge. So please give yourself a pat on the back, because that is a lot of work, and I'm so proud of you. Your spiritual team, divine source, your higher self, your soul is so proud of you for being able to get to this point, because no one teaches people emotional regulation unless you had a really good parent or a really good therapist. It's really hard to come across people that have this very graceful, very good head on their shoulders in regards to their feelings and communicating it. So congratulations, my pile ones. What's ending for you is these people-pleasing tendencies and being able to voice your feelings. That's the new beginning for you. With every ending comes a new beginning, and the new beginning is very clear that you have this emotional intelligence to be able to move about in the world where you get to live your truth, and we love that for you. So I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah, go give yourself your treat. Like, you so deserve it. Love you lots, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, my pal twos. If you've chosen this card, then this is your reading. And today we're looking at the question of what is ending. So let's get started. You have the card Perception. It feels like you are opening up to your heart space quite heavily, and you are trusting in the divine as well as your own inner self, your own confidence in yourself, to be able to be open to this newfound heart space. So what's ending for you is this closure of having your heart locked. That's how it feels, because I'm seeing a like lock and key. So it feels like you're being a lot more open. So it's interesting, because when we talk about endings, we also have to talk about new beginnings, and that's how it's really feeling for you. It feels like there's this expansion, this allowance of emotions to be able to come out. Yeah, I'm seeing Zendaya on the red carpet wearing a butterfly dress to The Greatest Showman premiere, and it feels like that. It feels like you are someone who, like, what happened in that premiere as well, is that there was a bunch of butterflies that came out while she was on the red carpet. So it feels like you're opening yourself up to allow things to work in your favor, for the divine to conspire in your favor. It feels like there's this new optimistic outlook that you are embracing, and what's ending for you is this more pessimistic, this more skeptical aspect of yourself. It feels like you're becoming a lot more open to the divine and ending your old habits of being closed off. You also have vanity. That one just flew out there, as well as grief. So yeah, what's ending for you? And I love how this card came out, because it's like this is the color in between these two colors, which is, well, that's how I perceive it. But it feels like, yeah, it feels like you have perseverance in the back. So what is going on with you right now? What's ending is, again, this very, it feels like this dark night of the soul. It feels like you are really ending a lifestyle that did not serve you, that was just surface level, that was not, it was just all for show. And you are trusting in the divine. You're trusting. It's not like you are letting go completely of the people or the places that you go to. It feels just kind of more like you're approaching it in a new way. It feels like there's this newfound innocence with you. There's this newfound joie de vivre, joy of life. We talk about this a lot on this channel, but it feels like you're coming into a space where spring has sprung, the newness is here, and you're embracing the warmth of the sun. That's how it feels. It feels like you aren't playing into the tricks of other people's perceptions. So very similar to pile one. You might have chosen pile one, but it feels like you have this newfound acceptance of yourself, especially. And again, very similar. So you might have just came from that pile. Apologies that I keep talking about it. But what makes it a bit different than pile one, it feels like this feels like you've just come out of the dark night of the soul. It feels like this is a very much a time where you had a lot of okay, how do I say this? So what I'm getting is that there's this woman, and she's seen again from vanity to perseverance. So it feels like in your day-to-day life, you are surrounded by the public quite a bit, or you have to deal with like other people quite a lot. And so other than being someone who just absorbs other people, it feels like, and absorbs especially the opinions of other people, it feels like you're gaining this newfound perception of how you think, how you feel, how you have your own opinion about what's going on, and you're persevering so that you have this veil around you that's protective, so that other people can't really obscure you from who you are. Your opinions or your beliefs are very much yours, and it feels like you're very fixed on it, because I keep like hearing and feeling the fixed signs. So it feels like you're coming into a place where you're moving out of this mutable energy, this more malleable energy, into a space of your own. So it feels like what's ending for you is this like pick me era. Like, this is how I can say it in a more like culturally translatable way, is that you're ending this pick me era and you're coming into this candid girl era. So I just learned about this like last night on TikTok, but it feels like you're becoming this candid girl. You're becoming someone who again doesn't really care about the opinions of others. You have your own stronghold about it, and it's becoming kind of like a muse to the people around you. Other than feeling like this pick me and being able to have other people's opinions enforced on you and acting inauthentic to gain the acceptance of others, it feels like that's ending. That's ending. You're not trying to gain the validity of others, just a lot like my pile ones. But this feels a little bit more like you're in this canon era where you're standing strong of who you are, and you're really coming back to a sense of being authentic, of having like almost this like childlike innocence to you, that where you are able to just kind of exist and not feel the pressure of other people. Really, it's not like you're hiding yourself either. It feels like you're very open to who you are, and you're allowing people to see you for who you are and not really caring if they do or don't. You're just kind of acting in the way you would act normally, and if other people are there, other people are there. You know, it feels like you had this time to really go deep within yourself, within your soul. Apologies for knocking my microphone there. But it feels like you've had this time to go within and to go through the depths of your soul, to be able to understand why you were behaving the ways in which you were before. And you had this energy where you persevered, where you kept being able to come back to yourself. You kept coming home to yourself. No matter how much other people's grandiose aspects of their own narcissism got, you still had this stronghold understanding of who you are. You still connected to your higher self, your loved ones, your spiritual team, divine source, whatever you like to connect with, your soul. It feels like you kept that, and you kept that safe, and you kept that locked up before, but now you're able to kind of exist and coexist with it and have it shine and have it be something that guides you. Yeah. It feels like you now operate from a heart space where you really love yourself and you're really comfortable with yourself. You know, you are comfortable with what you wear. You receive a lot of attention because of it, but you're not trying to anymore. It feels like you let go of this era of needing to be validated by other people. And because of that, it's interesting, because like, it feels like you didn't get the attention before when you were inauthentic in your pick-me era. But now, because you've grown and you've become very strong in your core, in your bones of who you are, it feels like there's all this newfound attention that's being put on you. Yeah. So what's ending for you, my dear pile twos, is this more inauthentic, more pessimistic, more skeptical aspect of yourself that you were energetically taking from others. That's what's ending. So this new thing that's rebirthing for you is this really authentic, really you, very very innocent and joyful aspect of you that's coming out. And it feels like Have you ever watched The Truman Show? I'm getting the image of Truman leaving that at the end of the movie. He leaves that world, you know? And that's what it feels. It feels like you're leaving that world, like that Matrix-esque world of perception. And you're coming into your own. You're not playing a character anymore. You're not trying to be someone who you're not. You've discovered who you are. You came to the depths of who you are. You realize what's going around you. It's kind of fucked up, and now you're in a space where you're just rejecting anything that's not authentically you. That's not resonant with you. It feels like you have this huge amount of self-love, self-care that guides you, that leads you, that you get to coexist with. So what's ending for my pile twos? You have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. What's ending for my pile twos? You have the Chariot. What's ending for my pile twos? You have the Lovers upright. What's ending for my pile twos? What's ending for my pile twos? And you have the Magician. Wow. That's a lot of major arcana. So this is a big step for you. This is a huge step for you. Yeah. It feels like, again, you're no longer being pulled by the people around you. With this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like your home life isn't affecting you. The people, your loved ones aren't having the same kind of ability to control you. It feels like you are someone who is taking back your power quite a lot. With the Lovers and the Magician here, it feels like, again, heavily with the Magician, is that you are coming into a place where you're using your own resources, you're using your own love for yourself to be able to connect with yourself again, as above, so below. So you are, again, able to connect back to your divine self, your divine source, your soul, your higher self. And you're able to make decisions and choices with the Lovers here. You're able to make decisions and choices that are very authentically you. Very much in a space where you are guided by truth, by knowledge, by things that are heavily resonant. And I feel like I'm just kind of repeating myself, so this is going to be a little bit of a shorter one, but yeah, this is probably an extension of pile 1. If not, like, you might want to check it out. If not, that's your prerogative. But it feels like you're just kind of like this little bird that's now learned how to fly, and you're spreading your wings and you're flying, and you're no longer in this space where you are controlled by the people around you. It feels like, especially maybe like a dominant male figure, or someone who, again, has a lot of authority over your life. It feels like that's ending, and you're coming to a place where you are now, you flip the switch. You are in a new perception, and you are this magician where you are able to, again, co-create with the universe. Yeah. Okay, 2 last cards. So you have the Devil, which is fucking great. We love that. We love that. Like, that's so great. Oh, the imagery of this reading, astounding. To have the Lovers and the Devil come up like that. And then you have the Page of Cups in reverse at the back of the card. So to me, again, this highlights this understanding of being able to make decisions that are your own and not be persuaded by people around you to make decisions that aren't yours, and you have this new perception of life where, again, you see both sides of the coin. It's not like things are black and white, good or bad. It feels like things are more gray. You see the nuances in how you're living, and you see the fact that sometimes you have to go within and persevere and not take the advice of some person that you don't know. Again, it feels like you're becoming the muse and you're letting go of this era of validation, of pick me, quite heavily. And this has to deal a lot with your decisions. Like, it feels like you're someone who is very understanding of the nuances of life, and you are, with this newfound perception, you're being guided, and you're using your own inner wisdom, inner knowledge, inner resources, and definitely your heart space to be able to, again, move about the world and co-create with it. So yeah, I feel like I just keep repeating the same message. So I'm going to leave it there, my pal twos. This is such an exciting time for you. I'm so proud of you, just like my pile ones. I'm so proud of all the hard work you've done on yourself. Divine Source, your soul, your spiritual team is so damn proud of what you've accomplished and how you got to this point in your life to be someone who is authentically you. So what's ending is this era of inauthenticity, and what's beginning is this beautiful version of you that's so happy to reconnect with you once again. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this resonated. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile threes. If you chose this card, this is your pile, and today we're doing the question of what is ending. So let's get started. You have the card Insecurity. This is quite the theme of what's ending for my collective right now, which we love absolutely so much. So what's ending right off the bat, what's ending is this insecurity that you've had. It feels like because of this insecurity, you were taking a lot of opinions, you're taking a lot of direction from other people, and now that's no more. With this newfound security that you have within yourself, it feels like you are protective of your heart space, and you're really letting it shine out in regards to the directions, the decisions that you make in your life. You're coming from a place of love rather than a place of fear. It feels like you are letting go of things that haven't worked in the past. You're making friends with your demons, and you're saying goodbye to them. So what's ending? You have expansion. Yeah. And then you have recovery. So, and again, this person's here. So it feels like you're coming into a place of trusting yourself, trusting your gut. You now have this new key, this new knowledge, this new magical wisdom. Because if you see, it feels like, again, your spiritual team is really helping you here. It's the same person. So it feels like you might have, either in the spiritual or in the physical, a couple of people who are really here to help guide you, help open you up to who you are in a way in which they're not forcing things to happen, or they're not controlling you. They're just kind of showing you a different way. They might be your mentors, they might be friends. It's just people who are giving you this new sense of self. What's ending though is your need to be validated by them. So other than going to them for advice or going to them for approval, you kind of go to them in a way where you're a little bit more firm about it. You have the sense of, other than asking for what you want, you tell them what you want, you know? Other than asking them if your boundaries are okay, you tell them this is your boundaries. And there are people who are very open, receptive, and will help guide you and be very happy to see you in your power. That's how it feels. It feels like what's ending is this... it feels like kind of like this toxic masculinity. That's what feels like what's ending. It feels like what's beginning for you is this newfound of security in who you are, especially in your divine masculine. And it doesn't matter what gender you associate with. It's more of the feeling of being able to be more in your own power, in your own discipline. I'm getting the Emperor card quite heavily, but I'm getting the Emperor and the Empress. So it feels like you are someone who has mastered both elements of being both receptive and disciplined. And so that's the security you've gained in yourself. What's ending for you is this insecurity of relying upon others to give you that direction, relying upon others to have their approval. You also have guilt as well as mysticism. So, and at the back, you have victim. So what's ending for you is this victim mentality. You're letting go of a lot of the guilt that you used to have about being yourself, about wanting what you want, and you're kind of coming into this place of really making it known to how you want to live your life and how you want your life to be. It really does feel like you're letting go of other people's perceptions of you, and you're kind of in this space of getting shit done. You're no longer letting your insecurities hold you back. It feels like with this newfound sense of you, you're allowing yourself to do things that you always wanted to. You wanted to go ask that person out. You are probably talking to them right now. You wanted to go running and do that 4K marathon. Bam, you're doing it. It feels like you're in this era of not letting yourself get in the way of what you want. What's ending for you is this imposter syndrome that you used to have, where you felt like you weren't good enough, where you felt like you weren't smart enough, where you weren't capable enough. That's ending. That's letting go. And you're in this new era of being able to realize that this is your life. This is how you want to live it. And nothing's gonna stop you. Why am I hearing JoJo Siwa's Karma's a Bitch? And you should have known better song in my head. Oh my god. Yeah. But that's what I'm hearing. And so for the people who have done you wrong, they're getting their comeuppance, they're getting their karma handed right to them. Because I didn't say that like I should have known better. I said you should have known better. So people in the past that had treated you and taken advantage of your kindness, they're getting their comeuppance. in one way or another, their own demons are coming out to play, and now they have to deal with it. You know, you are someone who's made friends with your demons. You are someone who's shaken their hands, and now they're just things that you have a control over. You know, for the people that were unkind to you in the past, they're still dealing with it. They're letting it take over their lives. They're having to go through all of the trials and tribulations that come with facing one's demons. Yeah, so you have the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands in regards to what's ending. Yeah, it feels like you don't look towards the past in order for you to feel accepted, because there's a lot of past energy. It feels like you don't do things the way in which you once were. You were very much more emotionally secure with what's going on, and you don't just react to things. Again, I feel like this reading is just to continue. You might have just watched this whole thing through. If so, like, I'm very impressed. But it just feels like all three of my piles, the collective right now, is just going through this beautiful metamorphosis of just self-acceptance and self-love and emotional regulation. And it's just astounding to see. So pat yourself on the back, give yourself a treat, because you have the key to who you are and how you behave and how you regulate yourself, you know? So what's ending? You have the Page of Swords and then the Ten of Cups. What's ending? And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. We love that. We love to see that. All right. Yeah, we'll do the back of the card. You also have the Knight of course you do. You have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So why do I say of course? It's just like, you're not letting a lot of people who just don't know you, who don't know themselves, you know, like a lot of the tarot community looks at the Knight of Wands and sees like player energy, you know, and it feels like you're not here to play anymore. You're not here to just let yourself like be taken advantage of. You're not letting your past actions dictate who you are in the future. You're coming into your own and being able to create this beautiful life for yourself and your loved ones. And you're kind of changing this wheel. You're recognizing also that with this Wheel of Fortune here, alongside the Ten of Cups, you're recognizing that you both create your own destiny as well as co-create with the universe, and the universe will spin its wheel. It will have days in which you are going through good days and bad days, but the wheel keeps spinning, and it feels like you're someone who's mastered being able to take anything that comes with you, the good and the bad and the beautiful, you know? Or someone who has a lot of inner wisdom, inner strength to be able to enjoy the good times as well as soothe yourself during the bad times. It feels like you have this nuanced perspective because of this newfound security you have within you. Again, this is a huge heart space moment, and it feels like you're just not letting the past control you anymore. You're not letting past actions, you're not letting past memories dictate and control you in regards to how you live your life. This one really resonates with me. So yeah, you're not letting the guilt of the past keep you hostage, you know? It feels like you're very much, what's ending for you is this, the victim mentality of the past wounds, of your past stories, of the past narratives that you used to tell yourself. You are breaking free of that. You have the key in regards to understanding yourself at a deeper level, and you're taking it to create a life that you want to live. What's ending, again, is this caged idea of who you are, and you're really coming into a space where you know your worth. You know that nothing is going to hurt you. It feels like, and if something does hurt you, it feels like you know how to bandage those wounds. You have so much more tools in your bag that you use them to your advantage. This might be a little lame, but this is what's coming up in my head. So I recently got into Minecraft quite heavily, and when I used to play Minecraft, I used to like get so scared of creepers, of mobs, of skeletons, of the nether, of all these different hostile mobs in Minecraft. But now when I play Minecraft, it's very much one where I know how to craft a sword. I know how to craft a shield. I know how to upgrade them to netherite. So I have like the best upgraded versions of these tools, and I'm able to use it so that I face my fears head on. I face these hostiles head on, and they're now just kind of an annoyance than something to be feared. And that's how it feels like when it comes to the experiences that you're having with your life. Things that used to bother you, things that used to like really have a chokehold on you, that made you really fearful in the past, those things are now just small annoyances that you know you can take on. There's this newfound security you have with yourself where you can just have a space to breathe and face your fears head on. You have this courageous, beautiful aspect about yourself that's willing to fight for you. And you have this security in yourself to know that you're protected and nurtured by yourself. My camera just cut off, so there's just gonna be a photo of your pile here, because we're wrapping up anyways. So yeah, it really does feel like you are in a space of self-love, self-acceptance, and so much so that you are your own hero, you know? And the wise words of the Cheetah Girls. You don't want to be a Cinderella sitting in a dress or a dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set you free, because you are your own hero. And you know, you are your own protector, you are your own nurturer, you are your own guide. And you have so much self-love and self-worth to know that. So congratulations, my pile threes. Yeah, this has been a wonderful reading, and thank you for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or evening, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.